So it's time has come to call a spade or a racist a racist. There's an expression in the North Shore of New Brunswick for Trump supporters from that part of New Brunswick. It's Trump-tard, the combination of the word Trump and retard. Now, we're seeing more of a pushback in recent days of the MAGA minions to support Trump and his lover Elon Musk and their son J.D. Vance, especially since the Zelensky meltdown in recent days where he acted like some kind of member of the Bonanno crime family. So, ladies and gentlemen, I suggest to any person listening to this podcast, if you know a small business owner in Canada or a restaurant that's Canadian or a store that's Canadian, to encourage them to ban anybody wearing MAGA regalia, racist regalia, within their stores. Now, we're getting reports in the Carleton County region of New Brunswick that some MAGA supporters, we think they're from the States, were showing up at a family restaurant called Pizza Delight. Now, Pizza Delight is considered one of the most important Canadian family restaurants in the Maritimes. Through my research, I can't really determine if they're asked to leave or they're basically weren't asked to leave. But the point is this. If Pizza Delight and other Canadian restaurants are allowing MAGA-wearing Americans, and their president has basically threatened to make us the 51st state, he's trying at his economic means to annex us, would you want to be around a person like that? Now, here's the deal, ladies and gentlemen. The North Shore of New Brunswick, when the Parti Québécois and the Bloc Québécois were trying to separate Quebec from Canada in 1995, they were showing up at restaurants and different locations in the Campbellton region, that's a border town to the Gaspé, passing on information and promoting their goals to separate the country. Now, these people were kicked out. Now, anybody that wears a MAGA hat or anybody shows support for Trump, if you're a Canadian, you're a fucking traitor. You should leave on the next via train towards the States. If you want to suck Satan's cock, do it in the States. You'll get probably shot. Your children will not have any good future. Canada's a peaceful country. I do not want to warn you, but the fact is, forearmed is four-elbowed, as we say, Mike Myers, Gordie Howe, elbows up. Do Americans really know how much the MAGA people hate Canada? The majority of Americans love Canada. They're not MAGA. But MAGA believes the manifest destiny they deserve and should have Canada as a country. Never going to happen. We'd bankrupt this country 55 times, and Donald Trump should know what bankruptcy is all about because he's the fucking king of bankruptcy, if he's anything. Now, if Doug Ford shuts off the power, is MAGA going to cry foul? Yeah, they're going to blame the king, though he shouldn't have shut off for foul. Like, you got people now like Pat McAfee, that WWE announcer, basically call us a horrible country because we're booing the national anthem at Elimination Chamber on the weekend in Toronto. Well, what the fuck you think we're going to do? If we went in the States in the middle of a press conference and we're going to make you the 11th province, or even worse, the 4th territory. So what I want you to do, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't have a criminal record, okay, if you see someone wearing a MAGA hat in Canada, American, Canadian, grab the hat, take a lighter and burn it to the ground. Throw it in their face, go to the bathroom, throw it in the toilet. If you got maybe leftover kitty litter from home, put the damaged kitty litter all over the hat. Bring it into the parking lot, stomp on it, bring it into the parking lot, run over it with your car. What are you going to charge you with? Are you going to charge you with what, damage to property? No American's going to come back to Canada and give a report. What are we looking at? I basically saying peaceful resistance. The idea of these MAGA hats, that's tantamount to a Nazi flag on their head. Now, Doug Ford parodied it, say, the Canadian version, and it's an awful thing where Doug Ford is leading the battle against the U.S. He's going to shut off the power. That's going to be quite interesting because in the States, they have no idea that each province can do what they want. Like Quebec could shut back on aluminum. BC could shut back on movies and actors and different productions out there. There's a whole bunch of stuff in Daniel Smith in Alberta. Some people are talking about a 50% tax on the 4 million barrels plus gas in the States will put their gas prices sky high. So, ladies and gentlemen, what I want you to think about right now is like, do it for me. Just do it for me. No matter where you're listening in Canada. This is not for the Americans, because I don't think Americans could grab a MAGA hat without being shot in the States. You can do that in Canada. That's the benefit. See anybody with a MAGA hat or regalia? Go up to their woman and say, would you like to be grabbed by the pussy? That's number one. Number two, grab the MAGA hat and just fuck it up like crazy. Maybe bring some scissors in the car or bring it on you. Keep them in the car. If you see it at a local store, grab the hat and just cut the hat and ribbon and say, okay, wear that fuckface. That's what we got to do. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm making a request to all the good followers of the channel. Anytime you see a MAGA hat, take it in your own hands, literally and figuratively. And if you go to court, basically you plead guilty and you say this: you can't give me a fine for standing up in Canada. Now, what you could do as well is take an American flag, the mini version, and burn it in front of them and see what they like about that. Because when they wear that MAGA hat, they're spitting on every Canadian. It takes a lot of fucking guts to come into Canada and wear a MAGA hat at a perfect family restaurant. What if there's a young child there, a 7 or 8-year-old kid, that doesn't know what's going on? That's exposing, like a child that age, to pornography or sexuality. Everything about MAGA goes against common sense. Now, one of the proponents against MAGA, one of the big ones, is Rod Serling's daughter, Anne Serling. I would recommend you check out her posts online, because there's a lot of stuff going on with her, support of Ukraine, support of her father's idea of what we call in Canada the just society. MAGA people cannot be changed. Just because you take the hat off, they're not going to change. They belong to a cult. The only way you can stop the cult, and the only way you can stop people like that, is do everything in your power to embarrass them, to fuck them up mentally or physically. You don't have to hit them. Just take the fucking hat off their head. You know what I'm just saying? Where are they going to go? The local lids. By the way, if you have any location in Canada selling MAGA hats, ban them and report them to the RCMP under hate speech. I know Ontario hate speech law is quite strong. Now, this harkens back as well, like Ern Sundell, like the workman's hat, like the heavy metal hat he was wearing to protest against the Jews. We had Malcolm Ross in New Brunswick, the librarian, who was a very big anti-Semite. Ern Sundell, he was kicked out. You gotta, if you don't stand for Canada, you're going to stand for nothing. Canada, it represents what the best of the world wants to be. The world needs more Canada, like Lester Pearson once said. So you're standing on guard for Canada if you go up to these Americans wearing MAGA hat. And if they make trouble at the location, don't shop there anymore. Take your money someplace else. And put it this way. Put up a sign saying no MAGA hats here. That's all you have to say. I'm recommending that. So again, MAGA bad, Canada good. That's the story today. If you like what we're doing here with our very, very one-sided political podcast that support democracy and free thought and anti-Trump tarts, give us a like, comment, subscribe, or share. If you're American, listen to this and don't like what I'm talking about, go fuck yourself and take off. I don't need you on this channel. I've had at least 10 people leave in the last few days, and thank God, because I don't want you here. You know, get the fuck out of my house. Sound like Eddie Murphy. It's my house. Get the fuck out. Have a good one. Bye.